The temple was central to Old Testament worship. The covenant that God made with Moses when he brought the people out from slavery in Egypt was foundational for the whole nation of Israel. And yet the writer to the Hebrews says they're shadows. They're not perfect. They're not the real thing. Jesus is the real thing. And in chapter 8, the temple and the covenant are both put in perspective. Verse 1 says, "We do have such a high priest who sat down at the right hand of the throne of the majesty in heaven, and who serves in the sanctuary, the true tabernacle set up by the Lord, not by man." This is an amazing statement because it shows that while the types foreshadow the coming of Jesus, they lack in themselves and aren't able to complete the job and bring salvation. Verse 4 talks about the Old Testament priests who serve in a sanctuary that is a copy and a shadow of what is in heaven. And Moses was warned in verse 5, "See to it that you make everything according to the pattern shown you on the mountain." It was a model. It was something that would be set up and would function within Israel, but it always was intended to prefigure that which was to come. A copy is not the real thing. And then in verse 7, he says explicitly, if there had been nothing wrong with the first covenant, no place would have been sought for another. But God found fault with it. And now the writer turns to the book of Jeremiah 31 and verse 31 following, which speak about the new covenant. "The time is coming, declares the Lord, when I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It won't be like the covenant I made with their forefathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they did not remain faithful to the covenant." The old covenant couldn't deal with the heart. It dealt with externals. It had the form, but not the reality. The reality is through faith in Christ and results in the work of the Spirit who changes our heart. "This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel. After that time, declares the Lord, I'll put my law in their minds and I'll write them on their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people." This permanent covenant. It wasn't that God had finished with the Jewish people. It was that he was actually making something that would be for Jews and Gentiles in this new covenant. "No longer will a man teach his neighbour or a man his brother, saying, 'Know the Lord,' because they will all know me, from the least to the greatest." That's the reality. So when Jesus comes and says, "This is the blood of the new covenant," he is fulfilling the promises that are foreshadowed in the very nature of the old. And then old covenant, old temple are no longer really required. The reality has come. Verse 13, "By calling this covenant new, he has made the first one obsolete, and what is obsolete and aging will soon disappear." This must have been written shortly before the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70, when the Romans dismantled the temple that Herod had built. It's no longer necessary. Jesus has brought us away into the true temple, into the very presence of God forever.